Hi, it's Darren and welcome to a very damp Boston. I've been here for the last couple of days, actually more in Cambridge at MIT, where our good friend Dr. Joe, who leads the AgeLab, he ran his second annual conference all about longevity and the wealth management industry. So I attended last year, as you know, and I was fortunate to be invited back. Last year I was the only Canadian. This year a few more have found their way across the border, so we had a little Team Canada section going, which was nice. And he invited me to come back and talk about and be part of these conversations because, as you know, the AgeLab, it spends all of its time thinking about what the last 15 to 20 years of our lives are going to look like. And as you know, I've said for a long time that you're not going to be living your grandmother's retirement. And Dr. Joe helps us give us insights into how your life and our lives are going to change. And importantly, how technology is going to really give us an opportunity to live more vibrant, healthy, and more interesting lives. So the conference this year was great. We had a whole bunch of speakers. We had, for example, the president of CVS Healthcare and all the retail stores talking about the work that they're doing and how they see the population, their customers changing and how they're providing more engagement. We had a number of wealth management executives from different firms across the United States. Raymond James, very well represented. We had our head of longevity, Amanda Stahl. We're actually going to do a podcast interview with her to talk about the work that Dr. Joe does, that Raymond James does, and how it provides us some more tools and resources and insights to support you and your family on your journey. We had a bunch of, obviously it's MIT, so we had a lot of tech. I still don't know how to get on the Wi-Fi. It was kind of crazy hard to get on the Wi-Fi. I think you had to be an engineer to get on the Wi-Fi. But we had those Amazon, Meta, Google, whatever they are, glasses, to kind of show us how this technology to help us see things and do things and be part of things, and this is all really early stage stuff, so I don't know if we'll ever get all these things together, but this augmented reality concept and how they can use technology to just process information and embed it into the world. I don't know if we're all going to walk around with those ski glasses, but in some ways it kind of felt like looking at the internet in the early 90s, because you can kind of see where it might go. So it wouldn't surprise me if at some point we're all wearing contact lenses or sunglasses that have all this tech in it. So that was really cool to see some of that. We had a whole bunch of stuff on AI, which I think we're also all trying to learn about. The best description I've heard of AI at a previous conference was that it's like a calculator for words. So we got to see a bunch of ways that AI is being incorporated, particularly in the medical field, how it can be used to help with diagnosis. And we saw one where it took a scan of someone's spine, and AI, an agent, worked with the patient to help them understand the results of what they were looking at. And it can provide a huge benefit to diagnostic testing and other things, just to accelerate and compartmentalize the process to make it faster and better for everybody. So really remarkable stuff, and also very cutting edge. We're really seeing things that you're probably going to be experiencing in a few years. So great to be at the front of all of this. So it was a great conference to be at. Great to see Dr. Joe. He and I did a little a video. I'll splice it in at the end so you can kind of see the quick conversation we had, and you'll see our wonderful choices in footwear, which is kind of fun. I should also give you a few other updates while I have your attention. I haven't done one of these little videos for a little while. So a couple of quick updates. The first one is we opened an office in Vancouver about a month and a bit ago, which was great. So I think Katie and Ryan are quite happy to move out of their kitchens where they've been, or their second bedrooms or whatever, because they've been working like that since the pandemic. So it was great to give them a beautiful office and for us to have a good footprint in Vancouver. So the address is on our website on West Hastings Street or Avenue or whatever it is. I was out there a few weeks ago to have a visit and to make sure they got settled in really, really well. So if you happen to be in Vancouver, look them up and maybe pop over for a visit. I'm sure they'd love to see you. We've added to the team, as you know, Christian joined us, and we have our eyes on another person that, if we can get them, would bring us to a total of 10. And that person is another CFP. Because the work that we do is really about managing your complexity, right? Or as my friend from Newfoundland says, when it's complicated, it's tangly. So trying to manage all the tangliness that you have. So doing that requires some wonderful people to join me in this process. And as I say, we have our eyes on another person. So if it all works out, we'll be having an announcement hopefully by summertime. So we'll see. Fingers crossed. Good people are hard to find. Christian and I shortly will be doing our next update. This year's actually been pretty good for markets, which is great. So we'll talk about kind of what has been going on, We've been very active in changes inside a number of our models, some of which you might see if you look, some you probably wouldn't see unless we showed you. So it'll be a good opportunity for us to share with you kind of what we're looking at, what we're thinking about, where we think risk is, and just how we're trying to get us to where we need to go without putting the car in the ditch, right? And as I say, I wish I could golf like we try to invest, right? Just kind of right down the fairway and not get too distracted. So we'll have an update shortly on that as we're processing all of the Q3 and Q1 data, Q1 data for the end of March. So we should have that out to you fairly shortly. I've got Christian beavering away doing all the charts and graphs and reading all the analyst reports. And then he kind of presents me with a wonderful summary. So delighted to have him. Everybody else on the team's been working quite hard. They're all going to start taking some vacations a little bit. I've been looking at when they want to book their time off, which has been, I think, really important because I really value the hard work that they do, and I hope you do too, right? Because at the end of the day, all that matters is that you care about that. So, okay, with that, it's getting quite cold out here, so I'm going to say goodbye. I got to get to the airport. Have a lovely day. We'll talk to you soon. Hi, everybody. Once again, I'm wandering through MIT, and I find our good friend, Dr. Joe Coughlin.
There was nowhere else to be, and I wandered in and found him.
It's amazing, and you had a mic on and everything, so
yeah,
wow, coincidences just abound. Well, listen, we're just wrapping up. They're already beginning to take down. You had your second PLAN conference here at MIT at the AgeLab. So very quickly, what was the conference about, and maybe a quick summary of what we're trying to achieve?
It was so cool, and you were one of our stars of the show.
I can't believe
we talked about retail and real estate, how clients are interacting with retail, particularly retail pharmacy. We talked about
well, we had the head of CVS here.
Head of CVS,
really cool.
the head of Edward Jones, talking about the future, but also, more importantly, kind of looking at the future of technology, whether it's artificial intelligence, telemedicine, augmented reality, virtual reality. How is this going to affect how we think about the future and plan for our future lives?
And we had VR headsets here. We talked about medicine. We talked about
travel. If you come to MIT, you got to play, but it's serious.
You have to play. It is serious play. But it was very well attended. There were a number of advisors in the room, leading advisors that you know, that are also very engaged in these conversations around longevity, which I think, most of our industries talk about retirement. And I think we really need to expand that whole concept of how do we live longer.
It's about your life, not just your finances.
Exactly. And a lot of people in the room you invited were the leadership of a lot of Raymond James leadership was here.
Raymond James, we had a lot of asset managers, and we had a full cadre of Canadians here too.
We had last year. I was the OG though.
Yeah, exactly.
So
now you're just another
I'm just another Canadian. The border's too easy to cross now. Which made the scavenger hunt easier. They could check off more Canadians they could find. Are you planning to do this again? This was really successful.
This is a new tradition. It's the Plan Forum. This is the 2024 Plan Forum. Expect to see you again at the 2025 Plan Forum.
Well, I'm delighted to be here. I thank you for inviting me back. Really appreciate it. We got to get a little shot of the shoe game we got going on here.
Oh, there you go.
Right. So there's
the shoe. You got to get the bottom asset here.
Yeah, got to get those in. Those are pretty snappy. I want to note to everybody, these are in the MIT colors.
That's right, cardinal red, not just simply red.
Hard to find.
Yep.
And as my daughter asked, she said, "Dad, do you think you're going to get an honorary doctorate by sucking up wearing the shoes?" I said, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take."
Good news for you. We are one of the few schools who never gives an honorary doctorate, so it's not that we didn't give you one. There's none to get.
Always a first time, so you now waited a challenge.
So see,
this was great. Well, listen, you've come up and done presentations for clients. We really appreciate that. I always get incredibly positive feedback. We have a podcast now, so maybe we'll invite you to be on the podcast. Yep. That'd be fun. Because the work you guys do has been so instructive to me and my team to help you and your families at home. So, Dr. Joe, with that, thank you for inviting me. But delighted to see you.
Much.
And we'll see you not next year, but sooner.
And we'll see you definitely sooner. Thanks so much.
Okay, thanks, Dr. Joe. Bye, everybody.